If you're like me, you probably want to look better as you get older and not increase the rate of your biologic aging that can lead to wrinkling, gray hair, hair thinning, low mental performance, memory loss, fat gain, metabolic dysfunction, and all the sequelae that are so common in people above the age of 65. Well, we have some good news for you today. A new study found that high-quality diets are linked with slower pace of biologic aging. And this is specifically involving women. In this particular analysis, I do not foresee why this wouldn't also relate to men. But this new study titled Diet Quality and Epigenetic Aging in the Women's Health Initiative, this was published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics just this past month, January 2024. This study included 45 postmenopausal women recruited from multiple sites across the United States between the ages of 50 and 79 years old. They had food frequency questionnaires and DNA methylation-based epigenetic age analysis available from the Women's Health Initiative database. And one of these epigenetic age tests we've talked a lot about is the Dunedin Pace of Aging Methylation Profile, known as the DunedinPoAm test. We've talked a lot about this. Essentially, the way that these tests work is they look at methylation tags on your white blood cells, and these signatures are linked with changes in cellular aging and the rates or the pace of aging. So all of us have this odometer, we call our age. I'm 41 years old, you might be 50 years old. We have some listeners, most of you are between the age of 30 and 45 watching. So your biology can either corroborate the odometer, your chronologic age, or they can be slower than your chronologic age or faster than your chronologic age. So it's important that we are all participating in healthy behaviors, lifestyle endeavors, eating diets that are synonymous with supporting our pace of biologic aging, because you have 9 to 11 hallmarks of aging. And it turns out that when these hallmarks of aging, such as protein aggregation and accretion and misfolding of proteins, mitochondrial dysfunction, there's all sorts of different hallmarks of aging that can occur. And when those start to occur, we have physiologic dysfunction. We have decline in our ability to think properly and memorize facts and figures. We have a reduction in our VO2 max, a reduction in strength. And so we want to eat diets that are congruent with optimizing our biologic age. And what this study found is poor quality diets enriched in ultra processed foods, are linked with faster pace of biologic aging. And this is women, again, between the ages of 50 and 70 years of age. And they looked at 5 different epigenetic biologic age tests, and the one that I really like is a Dunedin Pace of Aging test, but they also had the Hahnemann clock and the Levine clock, and there's all these different methylation clocks. And by the way, we've reviewed these before. When I was, I think 38 or 39, I did one. I think I was like 18 months biologically older than I was chronologically. We talked about maybe why that might be and so forth. I haven't repeated that test, but I have a lot of clients who are doing this now and finding good results with this, and I think it's quite interesting. So we're going to continue to talk about the importance of eating a healthy whole real foods diet. But I just want to thank this video show sponsor. The folks over at Bond Charge make one of the hottest yet lowest EMF at-home sauna blankets that money can buy. This thing gets up to 170 degrees Fahrenheit, but it's very low in EMFs. And what I like about this blanket is if you don't have room for an infrared sauna or a barrel sauna in your backyard, but you still want to get the health benefits of getting hot on purpose and sweating out these persistent organic pollutants that you're exposed to in your air, food, and water, and heavy metals, this is a phenomenal way to sweat and get hot. Again, this thing gets really hot. You will start sweating within 5 minutes of using the sauna blanket. You can do this in the convenience of your home. You can travel with this. The folks over at Bond Charge make an incredible product, and I think it's one of the best quality products on the market when it comes to an at-home sauna blanket. Sauna therapy is an exercise mimetic. You're mimicking what exercise does without having to exercise. That doesn't mean you shouldn't exercise. It just supplements your exercise. So you can save on this amazing at-home sauna blanket by going to bondcharge.com/HIH. Again, that's bondcharge.com/HIH. After you finish watching this video, definitely check it out in the link below to save on that. And we did a full review on the sauna blanket as well. Okay, so going back to the study on diet quality and pace of aging. Again, this is incredibly important. Just for background and context, there's been several studies finding that people can slow down their pace of aging even by taking things like metformin and DHEA. We talked about the study by Steve Horvath over at UCLA in 2019, finding that when people, they randomized people to have an intervention arm versus just live their normal lives, and they looked at their methylation clocks and these epigenetic aging clocks, specifically called the Horvath clock, and I think this one also also use the Levine clock. But they found that when people took, I want to say it was like 40 milligrams of DHEA, 500 milligrams of berberine, and I think they did some low-dose growth hormone in this study. And after 12 weeks, they reversed their biologic age. And numerous studies have actually found that, going back and looking at the Dunedin health analysis, we've reviewed that, the age of your face, your memory, and most importantly, your subjective thoughts about how you're aging. The more positive you are about how you're aging, it turns out that that is actually linked with and strongly associated with a slower pace of biologic aging. So your mindset, having a good, healthy mindset, thinking positively about getting older, you can't slow down time. You can just change how you view time. And so looking at, as I get older, I'm more wise. I have more knowledge. I've learned from my past mistakes, not dwelling on this and not saying things like, I'm over 50, so I can't go to the gym anymore. I'm over 40, so I can't ski anymore. Those self-limiting beliefs are actually linked and tethered to an increased pace of biologic aging. So your mindset really matters. And as this large study, again, involving thousands of women, found poor quality diets, meaning having ultra-processed foods. We've done many videos on what these foods are. Sugar-sweetened beverages, sugar-sweetened snacks. We have baked goods, donuts, pies, pastries, cookies, brownies, all those things are unhealthy. Margarine and oils, problematic. We also have alcohol. These are the top, and also fried foods and foods from fast food restaurants. These are ultra-processed foods that you cannot find in nature. They are problematic for your health. And it turns out that if you consume these foods, your biologic age will be faster. You're going to age much faster compared to your peers. And that's why we see people in their 40s and their 50s that have been eating whole real food diets for several decades. They look better, they function better, their mood, their energy, their libido, all of the functional health parameters, VO2 max is better compared to people who do not eat healthy whole foods. And that's the important take home from this recently published study that I think is just incredibly fascinating. And so the scientists say, in conclusions, the results from this study support an inverse relationship between diet quality and epigenetic aging. Diet quality scores had stronger associations with phenotypically tested measures of epigenetic aging compared to chronologically age-tuned epigenetic aging measures, particularly a measure of pace of aging, the Dunedin pace of aging. And that's, I think, one of the best tests here. There's a lot of different companies now selling this epigenetic age test. I think it's incredibly fascinating. They're about $200. I have no financial affiliation with these companies, but I'll put some links here where you can check this out on your own. They say further longitudinal studies are needed to better understand how changes in diet may modify epigenetic aging trajectories. So the take home here is eat healthy whole real foods, my friends, because it will help you age better, possibly slow down the rate of hair loss, graying of hair, wrinkling of the skin, and most importantly, I think, function of your mind. You do not want to lose your mind. You do not want dementia or Alzheimer's disease or Parkinson's, any of these neurodegenerative diseases. They are problematic because you're going to have to rely upon others to help you perform activities of daily living, and you don't want to do that, my friends. So hopefully you enjoyed this content and this study review. I will link the study in the show notes, and we'll catch you on a future episode down the road. Bye now.